Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. I tell you, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I really do not like what I am hearing coming from the liberal left regarding the Hispanic community. It is very, very concerning. Because I'm just going to tell you, I was reading the Washington Post. And in the Washington Post, they released an article attempting to bash Trump on the issue of illegal immigration. Okay, and they were saying that with Donald Trump in there, you're going to have a lot of these illegal immigrants that are going to be deported back. And here's what it says. I'll just go ahead and read it for you. This is from the Washington Post. This is an article titled, let me get you the title here. It says, "Don't Fall for Trump's Pivot Toward Humane Immigration Policies." This is by the editorial board. The editorial board. Now listen. It says that at least 8 million unauthorized immigrants are employed. Most have been in this country for 15 years or longer. Okay. Now listen to this. And typically, they do jobs such as tending crops, washing dishes, mowing lawns that native-born Americans do not want. In basic economic terms, illegal immigrants meet the labor market's demand for lower-wage employees, for which there is a shortage of available legal workers. I hate that. Man, do I despise that. Because you know what basically the editorial board there at the Washington Post is saying? They are stating that, in so many words, we need illegal immigrants to be legalized in this country, so they'll take the lower wage job, basically so we can enslave them. Is that not what it sounds like? It sounds to me like they are wanting to enslave them. For lower wage employees, they're taking all the jobs that no one wants. See, this is the exact mentality. This is why you have a high unemployment rating in the African American community. Okay? The reason why is because of the stupid failure mentality that has been placed upon them. And it's been waged by the Democratic Party. I'm just going to tell it like it is. Anyone who knows me, I despise racism with a passion. All right? I don't understand it. I don't understand how anyone can form an opinion of somebody based upon the external features of their body. Okay, I don't get that. I don't understand it. I don't comprehend racism. And that's why when I talk about things like illegal immigration and all of these other various matters, I talk about it from a rule of law perspective, because racism just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. A person's skin color is irrelevant. Okay? But because people have been targeted by the liberal left for all of these years. I'll give you an example, right? With somebody who's black. When you grow up in a black neighborhood that is in poverty, from the time up, you're told, not only are you living in that neighborhood, you're basically told, well, you're put at a disadvantage because of the color of your skin, and you're always going to be that way. So we're going to here give you all of these special benefits, all of this special treatment to compensate for that. Well, see, here's the problem. That's really, I think personally, why you have a large percentage of people in the black community that are living in poverty. It's because if you give all of this free stuff to people, all of these advantages to people, special treatment, in other words, they're not going to work as hard. Well, what do you mean? I'll give you an example, right? Let me put it this way. If you have a student in class and you tell that student, you know what, despite whatever you make on this quiz or this exam, you're going to get a B. You can do whatever you want to do, you're going to get a B. You can fail it, you can get a D, you can, just completely get every answer wrong, but nevertheless, you're going to get a B. You know what's more than likely going to happen? That student is not going to try as hard, whereas he knows that if he does not try hard enough, he's going to fail. He doesn't have that motivation to succeed, in other words, because he thinks, well, hey, I'm getting special treatment here, so I don't have to do my share of the work. I can just do it. If I don't do well on it, so what? Doesn't really matter. That's, I think, the mentality that has been instilled into the black community by the Democratic Party. Because Martin Luther King didn't feel that way. That man, he worked hard to get civil rights for the black community. He knew the meaning of hard work, and there's nothing, special privilege about it. There's no special treatment about it. You either work or you fail, and no one helps you but yourself. You've got to get to the point where you want in your life. That's the message that should have been, or should have remained, because it was in the black community for a while, but that's the message that should remain in the black community, and that should be presented to the black community, because the people who are not succeeding, they have to try harder. It's as simple as that. They have to be able to pull out of it. Now, when you hear this regarding the Hispanic community now, what are they doing? They are only good for mowing lawns, for washing dishes, for tending crops. That's what's coming out of the Washington Post from a bunch of liberals. What are they doing to the Hispanic community? Because the Hispanics are a minority in America, now they're putting that same type of failure mentality into that community. You see what I'm saying here? It's all psychological. They are putting the same type of failure mentality into the Hispanic community. Hey, you know what? We need to grant illegal immigrants legal status so they can take the low-wage jobs that no one else wants. And this isn't the first time that this has occurred. I mean, if you remember back on The View when Kelly Osbourne was on there, she made this statement. Go ahead and play it.
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, no. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying
there's more jobs to be
in LA, they always
but they don't. Latinos are not only the only people.
I didn't mean it like that. Come on. No, I would never mean it like that. Okay. I'm not part of this argument with...
I think what you're saying is that Trump himself
needs to look
probably relies on a lot of these people that he's insulting. I think...
So you see? This is a common ideology in liberalism. This is a common belief among liberals that we need these people in this country to take the jobs that no one else wants. Basically, they want them to be borderline slaves. They want them to do the slave laboring work at a low wage. I'm sorry. I am so fed up with this garbage. It's absolutely disgusting. They are looking at ways to get as close to slavery as possible. There's no such thing as success in liberalism. And I'm sorry, I just see this stuff for what it is, because that is racism, right? You really want to talk about racism? Telling a black person that they are at a disadvantage compared to everybody else, instilling that failure type of mentality in their mind, that is racism. That is discouragement. When you are telling Hispanics that they're not going to amount to anything other than low-wage jobs such as tending crops, such as washing dishes, cleaning toilets, that is racism, and that is putting in them a failure type of mentality. And they're trying to do the same exact thing to the Hispanic community in this country that they have tried to do to the black community, and that is enslave them, make them feel like they are nothing, make them feel like they are at a disadvantage compared to everybody else, and because they have been telling them from the day that they were born that they're failures, they are not able to accomplish their potential. Every single person who is black can be anything that they want to be if they work hard and they strive for it. Every single person who's Hispanic can do whatever they want to do if they work hard and they strive for it. They can succeed. They can be a success. And when you have liberals out there that are telling them that no matter what they do, they are not going to be at the same level as white people, that is racism at its finest. So let's get something straight here. It's the Democratic Party and the liberal left of the United States that runs on racism. And it's the conservatives, the Republican Party, that wants to see people of all races succeed. I'm so absolutely fed up with these politically correct bozos trying to pander to these different groups when they are doing more damage than they are beneficial good. I'm sick of it. Because this type of mentality, this has been rampant in the liberal left for years. For years. I mean, Kelly Osbourne, no, I didn't mean it that way. Well, then we have the Huffington Post, the liberal idiots at the editorial board that are saying the same exact thing. So yes, it is a liberal ideology. Hispanics are going to work low-wage jobs. Blacks are going to work low-wage jobs. The whites, yeah, they're the white privilege in this country. They're going to work the higher-paying jobs. I believe in telling people that they're going to be a success if they want to be. I don't believe in putting people down, telling them that they're going to be nothing. They have to rely on welfare, food stamps. That they need special treatment in order to advance. I believe in telling them if you work hard and you are truly determined to meet your goal that you have set for yourself, you can do it. But you've got to be focused, you've got to be determined, and you have to fight. And you will accomplish whatever goal you set out. I'm sorry, it really does. It's so aggravating to me to see this stuff rise up when this is racism. This is racism. I'm going to read it one more time just for the heck of it. Listen to this. Those include the fact that at least 8 million unauthorized immigrants are employed. Most have been in this country for 15 years or longer, and typically they do jobs, tending crops, washing dishes, mowing lawns, that native-born Americans do not want. In basic economic terms, illegal immigrants meet the labor market's demand for lower-wage employees. What are Hispanics? Lower-wage employees. And there's a shortage of available legal workers. So what do they want to do? They want to make them legal. Or they want to grant them amnesty. Or just let them remain in the country for the sake of keeping them at lower wages to get jobs done. I'm sorry, that's borderline slavery. As a matter of fact, it would be considered slavery, I think. Because, to be completely honest with you, you look at a lot of these conditions that these people are in, that are illegal immigrants, they are poor as dirt. And they are working jobs because they have to. Over here, they have to. They work these lower wage jobs because that's how because they're discreet, okay? When you don't want to be caught by somebody or you don't want to attract a lot of attention to yourself, what are you going to do? You're going to do things like mow lawns. You're going to do things like wash dishes. You're going to do things like clean toilets. Why? Because you're being discreet. You're not wanting to attract much attention to yourself, but you're still wanting to make a living. Okay? So you're getting money in doing these lower wage paying jobs. And while you're making money from it, you're being taken advantage of, quite frankly, because you're not even relying on minimum wage. I mean, they can pay you whatever. They can pay you $2.30 an hour when you're an illegal immigrant because, I mean, what are you going to do? Report it to the IRS or report it to the government telling them, hey, I'm not being paid properly. You're going to sue them? You're an illegal immigrant? No, you're going to be taken advantage of. I mean, when blacks were enslaved in this country in the beginning, you had a lot of black people that were paid money. Not much, but they were paid a little bit of money. Now, of course, I'm not saying the majority. That'd be stupid. But you had a lot of them that were paid a little something for working. Well, here you have the same circumstance. You have people that are really in need of work. It has to be a lower wage paying job, so they're making a little bit of money for doing all of this labor, working in the fields, doing this, doing that. Guys, I'm sorry. It's not right. It's people taking advantage of others. In so many words, Hispanics have taken the place of blacks when it comes to slavery, and I don't think that's right.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls? Start saving thousands in interest and fees and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1132. 800-826-1132. That's 800-826-1132. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as student loan debt, tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
I'm going to tell you something else that I think is absolutely ridiculous. Anytime that a white guy says something regarding an issue that is considered to be a black issue or an issue that's considered to be an Hispanic issue, automatically, what do you know, you're a white guy. I'm tired of hearing that. Because I hate to tell you, but a lot of the abolitionists, back when they were trying to get rid of slavery, were white. A lot of them were Quakers. They were white guys. During the railroad, the Underground Railroad, where you had Harriet Tubman, that was running people from the south to the north, guess what? They stayed in houses owned by white guys. They would hang quilts out in their front yards to signal, hey, this is a safe house. Come in here, we'll hide you, and then you can go on tomorrow. So if it wasn't for a lot of white people, black people would have never gotten their rights. They would have never been liberated. So to say that white people have no business in any racial issue regarding minorities is not only pathetic, is not only wrong, but it's racist itself. Because if it wasn't for white people, black people would not be free. I'm just going to tell it like it is. And just because you're white does not mean that you can't see racism. I see racism very vividly. If there's a black guy that is being discriminated against, it's very clear to see if they are literally being discriminated against. If you have not, and by discriminating, I mean a specific case of discrimination where it's clear to see. Now, if you have a case where, a black guy points a gun at a police officer and the police officer shoots and kills a black guy because he pointed the gun at him, yeah, that's not a racial incident. Unless the black guy was shooting the white cop because the cop was white. That's not a racial incident. Okay? Now, if the white guy that's a cop was, harassing this black guy, was threatening to kill him and all this other stuff, draws his weapon on him and the black guy draws a gun. Okay, yeah, then I guess that would be a case of racism. But let's look at the facts. When you have a black guy that draws a weapon on a group of police officers and they have to shoot and kill him, and all of a sudden that's a racial incident because that guy's black and the white police officers are Caucasian, yeah, that is not what racism means. And how many times have we heard cases like that? It's just like that one incident that just happened. You have this black guy that's a sheriff. I forget what his name is. Is it Arpaio? I forget. But anyway, the guy's black who's the sheriff up in Wisconsin. I think it's Joe Arpaio, maybe. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. But anyway, the guy's black, and this black guy shot in his county. Well, you have the black people that start revolting, saying, oh, this was a horrible case of racism at its finest, and here this guy drew a weapon on the cops. So they had to shoot and kill him. And that's from what we all understand through the news reports that have come out and all. So, it's so ridiculous what is being considered racism nowadays, when vivid racism, like what I just read for you out of this article, where they're saying that basically Hispanic people aren't going to amount to anything more than low-wage employees. I mean, that is a racial remark at its finest. Because you're putting this failure type of mentality in there. And see, that's another way that, I think personally the Democrats have worked at enslaving black people regarding this entire cop thing. They have them so they absolutely hate cops. They despise cops. They despise authority. They despise laws. They despise rules. And this is not talking about all black people, of course, for all you people out there that don't understand what English is. No, I'm saying the people that hate cops, that believe that cops should be dead, that call them pigs and everything else. They have no respect for authority. They have no respect for the law. But because this type of lawlessness has been condoned in the black community and has even been recognized as being an attribute of the black community, and who has it been recognized as being an attribute? By the liberal left, that's right, then, basically, yeah. That's why stuff is where it's at. Because, see, conservatives, we recognize it as this way. And this is what you have to understand. The difference between conservatives and liberals. Liberals believe, oh, yeah, they can do whatever they want to do. That's black culture. This gang stuff, yeah, that's the ghettos, poor schools. Oh, we're just going to ignore that. We're just going to ignore the poor school systems out in the ghettos and everything. We're going to stay away from that. Those don't exist. If you say that those are poor schools, then you're racist, like what we were watching on CNN. There was this school district, no, Donald Trump said that in a lot of these black neighborhoods, you have poor schools. That's right. I've been to ghettos before, all right? I went to one around the Washington, D.C. area. You have some very rundown, poor school systems in these various areas, okay? They are not good. Now, here's the thing about that. You know what CNN decides to do? They decide to turn it into all black schools are poor. That's what they try to make it out like Donald Trump was saying. So they go and they visit this really prosperous black school where you have great teachers, this and that. And they say, see, Donald Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. He knows nothing what he's talking about. Here's a black school, and they're doing great. Yeah, why don't you show the real stuff? Why don't you show the ones that are not doing too well, where the students are not receiving the greatest education? Why don't you put that on TV? No, instead you want to ignore the facts, and anyone who exclaims the facts is racist. I'm sorry, I am so sick and tired of it, and somebody had better be talking about this if you want it to change, all right? Because, don't get me wrong, the reason why I'm discussing this is because I want to see the black community advance. I do. I think that you have, from what I've been seeing here recently regarding all this stuff, regarding cops, regarding all this nonsense, regarding special, like they should be elevated or they should be given special privileges because they're black, or they should be given special treatment. That is a failure type of mentality that you are placing on them. And I think that the black community, it's time for the black community to come out of that and start advancing. That's just me. And I'd hope that a lot of these people start feeling the same way. Because I'm going to tell you something else. I was watching CNN too. CNN was in another neighborhood that was a black community. And you can tell that these people, and this is in this specific community, not saying all, for you liberals out there that try to twist my words, but in this specific community, the people that CNN was interviewing were not all that educated. And you could tell it. Just the way that they put sentences together, it was very poor. But anyway, CNN was interviewing these people, and they were asking them what they thought about Donald Trump saying that a large percentage of the African-American community compared to any other community is living in poverty, and they are unemployed. Because you have don't quote me on this, I think it's around 20-25% unemployment in the black community. Well, they started going around in this community and asking people what they thought about Donald Trump's comment, and you know what they said? He doesn't know what he's talking about. And they go to this business owner that's there, and they ask her what they think. Well, I would like Donald Trump to come and see my business that I've put together and I've built up and I've put all this time. I'd really like to see him come and see that if he thinks that all of us are, at a disadvantage or all of us are not prosperous. And see, that's what I mean. When he's saying that, and when people like myself are talking about this, we're talking about the people that are not doing well in the black community, which is a large percentage if you look at the facts, if you look at the research. Okay? That's just a fact. And when you look at those various issues and you see that, something has to be done. Something has to be fixed. But because you people, or because there are people out there that are making statements like, well, anyone who says anything against that's racist, or you have people out there in the black community that are saying, well, anyone who expresses any opinion in opposition to that is stupid, they are content with their failure. They are content in the areas that need to be improved. That is a problem.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Somebody had to say it.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1132. 800-826-1132. That's 800-826-1132. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as student loan debt, tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Yeah, I looked up that number regarding African American jobless rates. I was thinking of an article that I had read some time ago. It was coming out of Chicago. That was Chicago's unemployment rate for African Americans, 25%. That was from the Chicago Reporter. 25% of Chicago's African Americans are jobless, and they have the highest black unemployment rate among the top 5 of the biggest cities in America. So that is 25% of African Americans are jobless in Chicago. Now, if we want to get to the young black community, the millennials, 51%, according to Bernie Sanders, are jobless. They are unemployed. Bernie Sanders said that was the real unemployment rating for African American youth, 51%. Now, PolitiFact reported it, and they said that that's mostly true, what Bernie Sanders said. During a campaign event in Portland, Maine, that attracted thousands of supporters, Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders made a striking claim about unemployment among African American youth. Bernie Sanders said, for young people who have graduated high school or dropped out of high school, who are between the ages of 17 and 20, if they happen to be white, the unemployment rating is at 33%, he said. If they are Hispanic, the unemployment rating is at 36%. If they are African American, the real unemployment rate for young people is at 51%. 51%. A reader asked us to take a closer look to see if Sanders was correct. We'll start by noting that the most commonly used unemployment rating statistic is not as high for each group as Sanders indicated. The most readily available data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics covers the range from 16 to 19, which isn't identical, but gives a quick approximation. For whites in the age range, the official unemployment rating was at 15.7%. For Hispanics, it was at 20.8%. And for African Americans, it was at 31.8%. In other words, the official unemployment rating shows the same general pattern, that African American youth unemployment is significantly higher than white youth unemployment, and a lesser extent regarding Hispanic youth unemployment. Still, the levels for each group are lower than what Sanders said. So what's going on? Sanders' camp pointed out to us research from the Economic Policy Institute, a left-of-center think tank. And this data is different from the more familiar measurements for a few reasons. One, the Institute didn't just look at the unemployment status for people between the ages of 17 and 20. It limited its reach to high school graduates who are not enrolled in further schooling. And two, the EPI counted not only unemployed workers, but also those who are working part-time due to the weakness of the economy and those who are marginally attached to the labor force. The latter category includes people who did not meet the strict definition of being in the job market, but weren't entirely out of the market either. The statistic that the EPI used, known by the shorthand U6, is officially called a measure of labor utilization, blah, 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 blah. They describe it, they really didn't describe it the correct way. The twice used term unemployment rate, and once the variation real unemployment rate, a vague term that doesn't have any definition at BLS and wasn't mentioned in the EPI research he was quoting. On the other hand, Sanders' choice of statistics actually understand a broader point. Since it's reasonable to assume that dropouts have a higher unemployment rating than high school graduates, the figure for young people who have graduated high school or dropped out of high school, as he put it, is probably higher than 51%, since the figure includes only high school graduates. All in all, economists agree that Sanders had a point despite his problems with terminology. He should have been clearer. And that's what Sinclair, a George Washington University economist, said. But I think overall, the scale is right. Both education and race are predictive of unemployment outcomes in the United States. A number of different studies show that even for the same levels of education, minorities appear to have worse than average employment outcomes. So Sanders said that African Americans ages 17 and 20, that the real unemployment rating is at 51%. His terminology was off, but the numbers he used check out. And the general point was correct, that it implies that African Americans have a significantly less or possible record of success or have significantly worse prospects in the job market than Hispanics and whites. The statement is accurate but needs clarification or additional information, so we rate it mostly true. So the real numbers here, guys, is 31.8% unemployment for African American youth. And then you have the same thing going on with Hispanics at 20.8%. Now, they're, of course, more employed than African American youth. Whites are the most at 17.7, or 15.7, excuse me. 15.7 is where white people are at that are young. And I'm sorry, I think that a large portion of it has to do with this failure mentality that is placed upon these different groups. Because until we can get past race, until we can get past looking at somebody and immediately, okay, well, this person's black, they go in this class, this person's Hispanic, they go in this class, this person's white, they go in this class. Until we can get past that, until we can start looking at people as just being people and looking at, the color of somebody's skin as being the same exact characteristic as somebody who has blue eyes or green eyes or whatever, until it's as insignificant as that, you're going to see this problem continue. And because of the failure mentality that has been placed upon the black community, I think that is a large portion, has a large portion to do with why we are seeing worse numbers with them compared to these other groups. And the overall national unemployment number for the black community is at 9%. 9%. So, and once again, I was thinking of the Chicago number earlier, 25%, but the actual number for the overall black community is at around 9%. And that's compared to 4%, I think, somewhere around there for whites. And that's under Obama, a black president. I mean, where's he been? Why isn't he trying to help out? Something has to change. And obviously, if the first black president cannot fix that number, then there's a problem that is far deeper than anything that the Democrats have been telling us. If the first black president cannot fix the outrageous unemployment numbers out of the African American community, then there is a deeper problem than what they are letting on. And I have told you, I think it all has to do with this psychological mindset that has been placed on them by the Democratic Party, that you are deserving of special treatment. Because when you tell somebody, like I said in that example, if you tell a student you're going to make a B no matter what on your exam, right? You can fail it, you can get a D, you can get a C, whatever. You're going to, at the very minimum, make a B. That student is not going to try as hard, whereas you have that possibility of failure. When you have that possibility of failure in existence, it gives you the motivation to succeed. So when you give these special privileges, you give these special handouts to the African American community or to whatever minority group you want to do, it puts them at a lesser advantage because you are instilling in them this failure type of mentality. They have to have the motivation to succeed. They have to have the motivation by failure to succeed, okay? With that possibility of failure, it will motivate them to do whatever they want to do. And that's what needs to be proclaimed to the black community, to all of these other various people out there. It doesn't necessarily have to be black, people who are not succeeding in general. They have to have the mentality, I will succeed and I will do whatever it takes to get there. They have to have that motivation, because you don't have that motivation, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to be able to accomplish your goals. You have to be dedicated, you have to be focused, and you have to have that motivation. I want to be a success. I don't care what anybody says. I am going to succeed. That is what has to be proclaimed to the black community, to the Hispanic community, and to everybody that is failing, despite whatever their ethnicity may be. And guys, I'm just telling it like it is here, calling it like I see it. These issues need to be addressed, but something has to change.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
If you've ever been looking for a way to invest your money, gold can be a very good investment. Let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is one of the best companies in the business dealing with gold and other precious metals. They have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and can offer spectacular information on investing in gold. All you have to do is call 1-800-932-4108, and they will give you the knowledge that you need to make an investment. Even if you've just been curious about purchasing gold, this is a great group that can provide you with reliable information. Call 1-800-932-4108 and also ask them about some of their ebooks, such as 10 Shocking Reasons Why You Should Buy Gold and the Definitive Gold Guide. These resources are great for anyone, especially those that are just curious about investing. Call 1-800-932-4108. And some of their products that they offer are quite amazing. I mean, they have the gold bars, they have the gold coins, but they also have this thing called a Valcambi bar. And this is basically just a little bar about the size of a credit card that can fit into your wallet, made up of little grams of gold. So anytime that you just want a gram of gold, you just break one of them off. It's really quite neat. So by all means, contact our friends at Capital Gold Group. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1132. 800-826-1132. That's 800-826-1132. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as student loan debt, tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132.
Hoo-yah!
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. I tell you, this is just so absolutely awful. The New York Times has just released brain scans of Brazilian babies that show the array of Zika effects. This is horrible. Look at this. It just completely mutilates their skull, their brain. The images tell a heartbreaking story that the Zika attack on the brains of babies is seen from the inside. A study of brain scans and ultrasound pictures of 45 Brazilian babies whose mothers were infected with Zika in pregnancy shows that the virus can inflict serious damage to many different parts of the fetal brain beyond. This is horrible. This is just bad. The condition of unusually small heads, has become the sinister signature of Zika. The images published on Tuesday in the journal Radiology also suggest a grim possibility because some of the damage was seen in brain areas that continue to develop after birth. It may be that babies born without obvious impairment will experience problems as they grow. And it looks that way. I mean, this is... They have pictures on this entire thing of the brain scans. The top of the heads are just completely disformed. It really brings to the forefront the importance of truly understanding the impact of Zika and the fact that we need to follow children who not only are exposed to Zika in pregnancy, but even those who don't appear to have any complications at birth. And that's by Dr. Catherine Wise Spong, the chief of pregnancy for the branch of the Kennedy Shriver National Institute of Children, Health, and Human Development. And they were not, I guess she was not involved in the study. But anyway, it's really just horrible. They have the pictures on there. The brains, the tops of their heads are just completely mutilated. But I think that they were supposed to have a vaccination or something that's supposed to be coming up, which you got to be careful with those. But they were supposed to have a Zika virus vaccination eventually to take care of that. And I think it's supposed to be released sometime by next year. According to Wired.com, Zika cure could be on the horizon after researchers took a step towards a vaccine. They hope to have it, I think, by 2017 from what I've been reading on here. But yeah, I had a friend that went on a mission trip to the Dominican Republic, and that's one of the things that was concerning to me because it's like, okay, what comes along with this stuff? But from what I've read, it stays in your body for up to 6 months. So if you've been to a foreign country or if you've been to Florida, do not a good idea to try to have children because it does quite a bit of damage, and that's not that's just awful. The pictures that they have on there, hopefully they get something that's able to fight this stuff, but yeah, it's causing quite severe birth effects. But with travel and everything going on, and then you have people coming into the country from all these other various areas, it can spread because if a mosquito bites one of the infected people here, then they can spread it from person to person to person to person, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So yeah, it's dangerous. So they're going to have to get a handle on that because that's just completely awful what's happening to these children. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.